Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Bridge the Gap podcast. I'm Lauren.
And I'm Scott.
And today, I don't know if anyone cares or noticed anything, but I'm in a new location. So that's super exciting. To catch y'all up on that a little bit, I attended the University of South Carolina for 2 years. And then I switched majors and with some other personal life things that happened. And by personal life, I mean high school people that couldn't leave high school in high school. I decided that a completely new, fresh start would be great for me. So now I'm at Clemson University, and I'm pursuing a criminal justice degree. And the main reason I transferred was for academic purposes. They have a better internship program and opportunity and a better employment post-grad rate. So for my specific interest in the criminal justice field. So I am here now. So this is where I'll be for a while, and you may see more things go on the walls. We're still in the process of moving in. So yeah, that's the big thing that's happened recently in my life.
Yeah, big change. Like those people that are from South Carolina, we have a daughter that is creating a house divided all by herself. Clemson and South Carolina are huge rivals. And depending on who you're talking to will determine how big of a rivalry it actually is. It depends on who's been winning and who hasn't been in football. So we are now rooting for both a little bit, right? Which, controversial maybe. But
I don't know.
Well, listen, before you went to school, all of your friends and our friends were all Clemson fans. They all went to school there. They had kids that go to school there or went to school there. So listen, we've rooted for Clemson, especially as they won national championships before you were in school. And Dabo, depending on where you are in the country. We've always loved him as a coach. He's super engaging and cares about his kids and his players and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. I've been to a couple games there. It's pretty fun. Loads of spirit, loads of passion and everything.
Spirit's one way to put it.
Yeah. I tried to actually, I didn't try, but I had spoken to the Clemson head soccer coach way back when I was looking at going to college. And I was like, I don't even know where Clemson is. So I had to look it up. I was born in I was raised in Southern California. So San Diego to Clemson, South Carolina is a whole nother world. So the fact that you're there is pretty cool. We are Gamecock fans. There's just nothing better than a night game at Willie Bryce. It's just such a fun place. The school deserves a team to win more regularly because the passion of the fans is incredible. Mm-hmm. And we love good old Shane.
Shane Beamer.
Love the Beamer. And so we're hoping that they both do well. And then when they play each other last week of the year, we'll see which team is poised to take the next step. But I'll probably be buying a flag with both on them. House divided, all because of one girl in our family.
You know, it's funny too, is people might drive by and think, oh, that their son's thinking about going there then. And it's like, no.
No, it's all one.
It's just one. It's just me. It's funny though, because, I'm getting to know my roommates because I didn't know them prior to coming up here. And we were talking about, my affiliation with USC and stuff like that. And they're like, so who are you going to root for at that game? I said, I will be sitting on that couch in the living room in Garnett. Okay, do not get it mistaken. And I was like, and on days that Clemson, I was still going to root for Clemson.
Of course you
depending on who they're playing. But you will not catch me in that gaudy orange.
You used to wear it all the time.
This is enough. We're good here.
Well,
that's it.
The good thing is you can get...
I think I have one Clemson shirt in my closet right now, and it's a sleeping shirt.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is you can wear white or black or purple, all colors that you like. Yeah. And, listen, orange is not everybody's favorite color. And when you're in Clemson, it is everywhere. everywhere. So
the building's orange.
Yeah, everything is.
Part of my building's orange. Our bar stools are orange.
Everything is. It's unbelievable. So not that you're doing like this great like rebellious action by not wearing orange. It's just you're balancing all the orange with purple or black or white, and that's totally okay. But I've
been told too, I'm not technically supposed to wear black because that's a Gamecock color, and I was like, well, I don't know what you guys want me to do.
I had a Clemson shirt for years that was black with orange designs on the back, so it is what it is, right? But listen, Clemson's great softball, great football, great soccer. It's a great school, great university, great people, great part of the country. It's gorgeous. By the lake, in the foothills. It's a great place to be. And, I thought you did a very nice job of minimizing the personal part, because high school part deux was alive and well and frustrating and annoying. And, you didn't even have a safe space in your room to escape to. So, being that you are now away from all that, you can focus on you and your friendships and your relationships and your goals without having to worry about so-and-so and so-and-so heard this conversation under the door or through the wall, and it got back to so-and-so, and so-and-so had to see us out in front of some store and heard us talking to another person and then have to tell so-and-so. It was all just so ridiculous and so draining. And,
just childish. That's why I just don't even want to elaborate. I did what was best for me, which was cut it off and moved on. And I'm already more comfortable, happy here. My roommates are great, great people, and I'm really looking forward to getting to know them better. I've got my childhood best friend up here for home support, and she's always been a good friend to me, and I know that she's always going to have my back. So as much as and the crazy thing too is I was already kind of not happy in Columbia for some reason. Like I was like, I just don't feel like this is the home that I thought it was going to be, even before the high school stuff. And then once I found out all the other drama that was going on about me, but without my knowledge, that's when I was like, all right, I'm going to finally look into this and talk to my parents about it. Cause I was like, there's no point in staying somewhere when I have the opportunity. It's like, it's my life. I have the opportunity. I'm not stuck here by state mandated lines of like, you have to go to this school. Moved on. Very happy here. The craziest thing happened last night, actually. So, my roommates were like, hey, we have some friends that like want to come over and hang out and see our place. Like, are you cool with that? And I was like, 100%. Like, I'm totally down to meet new people. So, it was right after I got off the phone with you and Mom last night. And I heard people out there. So I was like, oh, let me go out. So I walk out of my bedroom, and another girl, her name's, I won't say names though. She's coming out of my roommate's bedroom, and she goes, I know you. And I go, whoa.
You're like, oh no.
It's like, damn,
I get
that. So I kind of just froze, right? And I was like, what? And she goes, you went to Catawba Ridge. And I was like, oh my God, I don't like where this is going.
Right.
And I go, okay. And she goes, news girl, you were on the news. I was like, oh my God. In the wild is crazy. So she was a year below me, but she knew me because of my involvement with student media. And so we were just like talking about a bunch of stuff, Fort Mill, and she was like, when you and your high school boyfriend broke up, like it was news in Fort Mill. Like everybody knew about it. Everybody was talking about it. Like the teachers were discussing it. And I was like, the teachers? Like, so it was just crazy that like.
Did she go to Catawba?
Yeah, she was a year below me. Yeah. So I was just like, but I was like, in the wild's crazy. Like, I was so unprepared for it.
Dude,
and that's just like another reminder where I feel like Fort Mill's grown really large, but then like you leave it and it follows you. So it's like, it's still small in that aspect.
It's so funny because I've several times in my life, people are like, I know you. And I'm like, and you're like, oh God, you know what I mean? Like,
you're like, but how?
It's either going to be good or bad. I'm pretty polarizing. So, you know, it's funny. And somebody at one point, they're like, you just have a very familiar face. I don't really know what that means. I don't know if that means I'm so grotesque that people remember or what. But I used to work for a big company, and they're terrible. It ended terribly because they're a terrible organization now. They weren't when I started there, but you know, I would travel all over the country launching a new business, I guess, way of doing business, for lack of a better way to put it. And so I was always wearing my shirt, and the shirt had the company name on it. Mm-hmm. And I'd get on a plane, and probably 1 out of 4 plane trips, which I used to take like 5 or 6 plane trips a week. So like a couple times a week, somebody would be like, you work blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, this is either going to be like, this is great, or you guys are the absolute worst. And that's how I feel sometimes when people are like, you look familiar. I know you. And you're like, oh God.
And I'm like, do I want you to know me though?
Right. Like, I was pretty crazy when I was in my 20s and a little bit earlier. So God only knows if somebody remembers me for something. But
when I straight up asked her, I was like, so like, what was my like, how did you think I was? And she was like, I just heard that you were cool. She was like, I heard that you were a little bit of a bitch, but you were cool. And I was like, well, it's kind of true. It depends on how you caught me in the moment. Usually it's because I was defending myself in some situation. Right. But, you know, like any 16, 17-year-old girl in a small town, she's going to be a little bit of a bitch. There's a lot going on.
Yeah. We say small town, but it's getting bigger and bigger. I only had one high school in my town in San Diego. I mean, there were 2 other rivals that were close by. So technically, it's about as big as Fort Mill now with the 3 that we have here. So, no, that's crazy. Small world. I didn't know. Did any of your roommates go there, or they just know her randomly?
Oh, okay. So,
did any of your current roommates go to your high school?
No. So they're all from the north. One's from New Jersey and 2 are from Connecticut. And they all met because they're part of the Jewish club here on campus. So that's how they met. So that's how they're friends, and then they came over, and that's how I met them. Gotcha. Which was funny too, because then last night they have like a club fair tomorrow night, and so they were talking about it because they're all in this club. And I was sitting there, and I just felt like kind of funny because it's very rare, especially in this part of the country, that the Christian is outnumbered in a room. But I love experiences like that too, because again, it's just opening up to understanding people more and getting a perspective that you don't have. So with making friends, and then also them just having different cultural and different belief systems, like it's been so great so far, just getting to, again, it's just an entirely new chapter, and I'm so excited and optimistic. And I had my first class today, and my professor's just so cool. Like the class is totally relaxed, but it's what I'm interested in. And it's just like, I just already feel light years better mentally and emotionally than I did last year, even before I found out all the drama. Like I just already feel like I'm in the spot that I'm supposed to be in for sure this time. And that's such a like great feeling to have, even though I haven't even been here a full week, and I'm already like, I was supposed to do this. Like I went through what I did in Columbia to get me here. So it's just super cool and crazy that no matter where people are from, everyone's always connected, by the way.
It feels like it, huh? It's so crazy. No, I mean, you know, the cool thing too is as a parent, you know, you have dreams and aspirations, and you have visions of what you want your kids to be and what they want to do, and you help them, like, right? That's our job, is to nurture, provide you opportunity. And, you know, you're fortunate enough to have the environment to be supportive and to help you and stuff. It wasn't easy. I mean, you sprung the move on kind of at the last minute on us, and it scrambled us quite a bit, and there was definitely some frustrations and some delays and some challenges, and we had to find someone to take over your lease at the old place. I mean, it was not an easy thing to do. And it could have been very easy for us to be like, no, put your head down, rub some dirt on it, and grind it out, And, but ultimately, this is a good start. And I have to remember that when I was 20, how many new starts I had to take, right? I took more than one. I was completely financially on my own. My parents were like, hey, you're on your own, big dog. You didn't take the scholarship to school, so congratulations, it's on you. So so I had to figure all that stuff out on my own and pay for it and the whole thing. But but I had to take new starts, right? I moved home twice after high school, right? Maybe even 3 separate times. Sometimes it was a few months, sometimes it was 6 months, and sometimes it was just a few weeks. But that's what we're here for, and we want to provide you that opportunity, and see you smile and to see you happy is awesome. Like that's all we can ask for. Now it's up to you. If you don't do well here, then you're the common denominator, right? And then you got to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, all right, maybe it's me, right?
Yeah.
And that's just reality. But the fact that you are in a place where you feel that way, and I didn't even know your roommates were Jewish. That's amazing.
I just found that out yesterday too. So
yeah, I mean, I don't have a whole lot of experience with that I know of. So I'll be interested to find out how they are and what you learn, and the fact that you guys are already hanging out and doing stuff and learning is cool. And then your work too is right there. So when do you start your job? When's your first shift? Friday. Okay. Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah, we were all talking about it though. It's funny. I'm just transferring in the same business, same restaurant and everything, but I still have to go through the training. And it's like, that's the most annoying part is it's like, yeah. And I'm trying to look at it positively. Like, okay, so Friday, that means I get a free meal and I'm on hourly pay. Like I get paid hourly, so it'll be a nice little paycheck, but it's still like, it almost feels like a waste of my time. Because I'm like, I know the menu. So now I get to walk around with the waiter already knowing what I'm doing. And they have to be like, hi, my name's Wawan. This is my shadow, Lauren, for the night she's training. And I'm just going to sit there like,
yeah, but you gotta,
like, I know what to do.
Right. But this location's way different than your last one in every sense of the word. So learning the sections, the table numbers, the kitchen flow, where stuff is, all that stuff. You need at least one training shift to get at all least that stuff. Okay,
fair enough for the logistic part of it. It's all but I hope it's an accelerated training, right? I'm like sure since I'm not like fresh off the boat, like I know.
Fresh off the boat in Clemson.
And I don't know how I just came. Well, there's a lake right here.
There is. You live right near it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, no, that's good. And for those of you listening and watching, Lauren and I haven't seen each other in a week because I left last Monday to go on a work trip. So I had my boss and the president of our division with me for a couple days. So I was in Wilmington, then Charleston, and then back here in the Charlotte area. So yeah, so those of you guys listening or watching, we haven't caught up with each other a whole lot. We've just been kind of head down, getting our shit done on.
Yeah.
So it's good. I'm glad. It's good to see you smiling and happy, and yes, your new environment and yeah, good stuff. So last week we talked about a topic that was, unfortunately everything's controversial these days, and which goes back to
and polarizing
generations after Gen X, because Gen Xers are usually not we don't think anything's controversial. Like the fact that I said rub some dirt on it and get on with it. Could be controversial to some generations. To us, that's
it's
just the normal way we talk, right?
Someone's gonna be like, "Are you okay? Like, is your dad emotionally available to you?" And
is your dad mansplaining? Yeah. Is he mansplaining?
Okay, I will say at one point you have mansplained before, and I've just let you do it because I'm a good child.
And I'm a dad. I'm your dad. So anyway, we talked about the abortion or right to life or choice, depending on which end you're on. What's interesting is social media is always just so fascinating. And as much as I cannot stand putting myself in positions to deal with stupid, emotionally unbalanced people, we decided to put ourselves out here and do this, so I have to accept what comes with that, right? And I actually thought we towed the line really well. I don't think we said anything that was over the top. I thought we did a very good job of not going absolutely pro-choice or absolutely pro-life. Like we towed the middle pretty well. But man, some of people's reactions were like we said that their mamas are going to hell or something. I mean, they like took it personally, which is, in this day and age, once again, not surprising. But, on one of the posts on Facebook, I said, listen, tough topic, tough discussion, but hopefully we showed that a Gen Z daughter and a Gen X dad can talk about something like this. I know I've talked to a couple dads since. They're like, I've never talked to my daughter about that. That's kind of mom's arena. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I thought we did a good job, but man, some of the comments were crazy.
Yeah. I also thought that we did a great job of being very respectful to both sides. I mean, I did say that if you were 100% pro-life with no exceptions, that I don't have as much respect for that opinion. But that's just my opinion again. And if you don't have 100% respect for mine, that's completely okay. So on TikTok, we definitely reached the pro-life side of TikTok, Dad. What's funny is a lot of these comments, you mentioned Gen Z being very, kind of aggressive with their stances sometimes, but a lot of the comments were actually Gen X. So I posted one clip where I discussed how I was pro-choice but what that meant to me personally. And that's the clip that really, I mean, people are having like full blown like fights in the comments.
Jeez. How many comments did we get?
62.
Okay.
And so the other thing is people also don't listen to the full thing, and they definitely did it in this clip because people are commenting things and I'm like, no, like I said that. Like, right. You're not, or they're taking what I'm saying and purposefully trying to find like something to complain about. Like I got one where I was talking about how, certain states have zero limitations on when you can get an abortion. And we discussed how we don't personally agree with that. And so this one person commented, she's missing the point where most pregnancies past the first trimester are usually wanted. And the only reason people get abortions that late are for medically necessary reasons. That was a good point because we didn't discuss that part, right? So that was something I did go, oh, that's a great point. Like, and I didn't specify what kind of late term abortions I disagree with. So definitely want to clear that up. If it's medically necessary for the woman to live, absolutely. Like, or that goes to the save me or the baby argument, but that's a different conversation. Right. But yeah, like if it's dangerous for the mother to keep the baby and the partners go, okay, well, we can try to have another kid, but I don't want to lose my wife. And the wife doesn't want to lose her life, then I 100% agree with late term abortions, right? But that's for partners to decide. The other ones we don't agree with. One person commented, okay, so she doesn't vote to require vaccines to go to school. What? Exactly. What? I had the same. I was like, well, what? I mean, I guess it's because I said pro-choice, but I don't know. I
don't know either. Well, number one. So the first argument is fair. Mm-hmm. and I'm no doctor, and I'm certainly no expert, but I've had 2 kids with your mom. She had them. I was there. And they do all the tests pretty early, right? Like you don't find out that there's something wrong on like week 39 with the baby, right? Like, you find out pretty early. Like, it's way before that, right? Now, I get it. There's some crazy circumstances that things happen. I get it. And I think we even said last week, listen, if you're absolutely pro this or anti that, and you deal in absolutes, we can't deal with you, because nothing is absolute. Nothing. I know people believe it. I know people, that's fine. But most of the time, there's always a little wiggle room in everything. Yes. Right? So if you approach your life with absolutes, like I absolutely have to do this, and I absolutely believe this, and there's no other opinions, and there's no other God, and there's no other way of doing this or that, then good luck, because I've learned that there's always more than one way, one side of everything. So it's interesting on that one. The vaccine thing is pretty funny. So, I mean,
but it's just like that feels like a
topic.
Comment. Yeah, and that feels like a comment where they're trying to find an issue with what I said. We are so obviously in the clip talking about abortions.
Right.
So nowhere do I mention if I'm pro-vaccine or not, because that's an entirely different conversation. Yeah. I mean, it's just like some people are just really, really aggressive, and like some comments are just so like, I don't understand them. I've got 2 more and then we can kind of move on. Well, I haven't even scrolled halfway down the 62 comments there are, but one is said, so what she is saying is that she won't hold people accountable for their actions. Sounds like a great way to create a classless society. Hey, newsflash, if anybody who knows me personally, they know damn good and well the only thing I do is hold people accountable. So,
right.
All I do is call people on their actions and how it disagreed with what they said. So, once again, stop trying to make it out like I said something that I didn't, because that's not the argument that I made.
Right.
And then another one that's just such a baseless argument. Ready for this? I laughed aloud when I read this comment, by the way. So sorry if you're this person and you're listening all of a sudden, but your comment's not the most intelligent. Would you tell someone they aren't allowed to pick up an axe and swing it at someone else's head? Oops, you just told someone what they can do with their body.
Are you kidding me right now?
Dad, I have it right here. That's what I'm saying. I laughed aloud at that comment. Once again, you're fishing for things to pick apart my art. Are we serious?
Oh my God. That's hilarious. That's hilarious, man. Well, listen, people.
Insane. That was the first clip that we posted, though, that really got almost hate comments. And I was like, this is crazy. And the funny part is, I laughed at most of them.
Well, they're funny. Well, listen, we're pretty tough people. It takes a lot for us to get riled up and hurt our feelings. So listen, it just goes to show you. I mean, you and I watch clips all the time where people just are out of their damn minds, right? So it is what it is. People are crazy. Would you tell someone not to pick up an axe? I don't know how that. Okay, no, yeah, we would. Don't kill people.
But it's because
don't kill people.
In the clip, I said I would never tell someone what to do with their body. That does not mean that if someone picked up an axe in my proximity, that I wouldn't tell them to not kill someone.
Right.
That's not what to do with their body. That's psychologically they need help.
Right.
I don't. Whatever. But once again, the clip was about abortion. Yes, and the clip was about abortion. They're just pulling things to make it sound like I want everyone to just run around with free will all the time and no consequences. And also, I'm a criminal justice major. I obviously believe in consequences.
Right.
It's what I'm in school to do, is enforce consequences.
Right.
The whole thing was just so funny to me. I was like, there's literally no way this is real.
Yeah. Well, did you ever hear back from the person that recommended we talk about it?
Yeah, she had personally reached out to me after watching it. She said that she really, really appreciates it. And she's gonna try to sit down with her dad and get him to watch it, just to get a perspective. If not, she said it still helped her out to find that middle ground like we are. Just in case the conversation comes back up, she has points to bring up that's kind of like a, okay, well, dad, we can kind of agree here, you know? So,
right.
She said that it definitely helped her out. And that was really, excuse me, that was really, not warming, but you know what I'm saying? Like it feels good to know that once again, that's our whole goal for this whole thing. So to have it be told to me, like, you did what you wanted to do and you did it well. That definitely is very encouraging. Yeah. And is the whole reason why we're doing this. So,
yeah. I mean, listen, it's not surprising, right? That a 20-year-old female doesn't see eye to eye with their 50-something-year-old dad. Like, that's duh, you know? I mean, I totally didn't agree with my parents on things when I was your age, right? But like we said before, the polarization and the way our society is now, it's like so polarizing that you forget that you can find common ground sometimes, right? Like, and I think that's what's so crazy. I think when you look at it like RFK, he's trying to figure out which vaccines we should be taking and which ones we shouldn't, right? He also thinks we shouldn't put stuff in our food because it's poisonous, right? And because our society is so polarizing, one side just attacks him. And it's like, hold on, he's trying to make people healthier. Like, we should all be able to find common ground there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I get it. You don't like this administration and he's part of it, but he comes from the other side, at least registered that way. He was raised in a Democratic family. He just wants to make people healthy. He wants to get rid of unnecessary vaccines. He wants to get rid of unnecessary ingredients and use pure ingredients. And people still argue about it. And they'll probably comment on this. And I'm some MAGA guy now because I support RFK. Like, people just are so to the... Yeah. They just, like, there's a way to find common ground, right? Like, it's unbelievable. And that's what we try to do is, you know, find common ground between a daughter and a dad. Have a dad and a daughter be courageous enough to have the conversation. Number one, be courageous to put ourselves out there to help people, hopefully help people, and find common ground on it. You know, I mean, you brought up a couple points last week that I was like, okay, I didn't think of it that way. And, you know I told you that because when Roe versus Wade originally got overturned, I remember you calling me all freaking emotionally charged that...
Well, I was scared because I didn't fully understand it. I thought, you know, and again, I was 15, so I still didn't have a full grasp on the situation, but I just felt, you know, as a woman, I felt an immediate threat, right? So that's why I was just like nervous and I had to get clarification on what it actually meant.
Which is why, you know, once again, we talk about it and we find that common ground. And you know, you said a couple things last week I didn't agree with, but it is what it is. And I'm sure I said a thing or two that you didn't agree with, and that's fine. At least be courageous enough to have the conversation. At least find a way to find a compromise. And if it's just, okay, we can agree to disagree on that, then great.
We just won't discuss it anymore. Yep.
At least we're progressing the conversation and we're acting like human beings as opposed to what so many people do now. Just
cut them off.
Are supercharged emotionally, and then I can't deal with you, right? Like you can't. I can't associate with you because we have a differing opinion. Oh my God, are you crazy? Like,
right? Like, yeah.
We're doomed as a species if we can't figure this out and have common ground and have discussion.
I agree, and it is sad to me that it is the way that it is because Just a lot of the time socially, I do keep a lot of things to myself because I don't want people to automatically go one way or the other. And it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, we don't agree. Like you said, we can agree to disagree. And it doesn't change how I view you as a person. And we just won't discuss the topic again. Like, it's that simple. And I mean, it feels like it should be that simple. And because at the end of the day, like, we all have to remember we are all human beings on a floating rock in a giant abyss, just trying to figure our shit out day by day. So it's like, when you die, you're not going to remember the person that disagreed with you on December 13th, 2022. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, is it really such a big deal that you would just automatically shame and shun and cut someone off because they disagreed with you? No, it's really not that. Like, and then, I mean, when it comes to bigger things like human rights, then that's an entirely different issue, obviously. But, it's just like, everyone has opinions, agree to disagree, treat others with kindness. And if you guys don't agree and it bothers you that much, don't talk about it again. It just feels that simple to me. I just feel like we've lost the willingness to have respect for differences, and in certain arenas, because in some ways we've gone completely other ways with differences and respecting them. But that's another conversation for another time. So
yeah, well, no, it's true. It's listen, it happened to me a few years ago where, unfortunately, social media or phones or all the above, however you want to do it, technology, if you want to lump it into just one big grouping, gives people really big courage, and then it gives them really big cowardice too, right? Mm-hmm. So they can be big and bad and tough and comment, but then they can be equally just disappear and unfriend and be cowards, right? And during COVID and during 2020, I was very vocal about a lot of things. Censorship was a big deal, the mandates, and there was people that argued with me pretty aggressively. A couple of them, I was fortunate enough to work at the House of Blues in Hollywood in the 90s. And that whole thing was help ever, hurt never, right? And it was all about diversity, and it was all about differing opinions and different backgrounds, but we can all come together and love music and love great food and see common. And so I remember putting on there on one of my socials after people unfriended me because they didn't agree with how I felt about things. And I was like, isn't it funny that you came from this place and you say that you will respect other people and others' opinions, but then when it comes down to it, you just really don't, And
right.
And it's true in all sorts of things, right? Not just controversial topics. People argue about sports, and they argue about players, and they argue about the rules of stuff, food,
anything. I mean, people just want to argue.
People just want to argue constantly. So
it's called rage baiting. We literally have a term for it. It's called rage baiting, where people purposefully say or do something that they know is going to piss the public off just to get a reaction. We've termed that. So listen, Gen Z doesn't.
Hey, no way, another label.
Yeah, but at least it's accurate this time. Rage baiting, that's a pretty funny term to use, like someone, like, it's like when a guy when a guy comes up to you and you're like, "Oh, thank you, I'm just not interested." And he goes, "Well, you're ugly anyway." Okay, rage baiter, because you just came up to me, so what do you mean I'm not that pretty? Like, what are we talking? Like, that's a rage baiting situation. But
that's just a juvenile mind.
Insecure ego.
Yeah. Well, most guys are when they're your age. We don't know what.
So are girls.
Yeah, but
we just
you guys
look like we know
are in
what
control.
We're doing.
Yeah, you guys are in control.
Yeah.
That's funny. Well, cool.
But yeah,
I'm glad.
Listen, go ahead.
I was gonna say my generation said all publicity is good publicity, right?
Yes.
So if we hit a nerve
true.
because we talked about a topic, then great. If you want to be angry about our point of view, great. Maybe you'll tune in this week too, right? That's just it. We want to approach topics. We want to push envelopes. We want to show that we can have these discussions, even if it's uncomfortable. And you guys have no idea when my daughter's talking about some things, I'm like gripping my leg. Because it's not always comfortable for a dad to talk about this stuff with his daughter, but we're doing it anyway. So yes. I know we've said it a million times. Hopefully people find value in what we're doing. And I'm glad that your contact appreciated the episode. That's why we did it. She recommended it. So we'll keep talking about stuff, and then we'll keep talking about other stuff. And it's good. Find common ground. Find ability to have discussion. Help find somebody the ability to be compromising and neutral. And not everybody needs to be on 10 all the time, right?
Peace, love, and happiness.
Well, even you don't have to be on 10 all the time, right? I'm never wearing orange. 10. Chill
all right,
out.
Whatever. That one I just will be 10 on.
Okay, just chill. It's not that big a deal, right?
Thank you guys all for tuning in again. Like my dad just wrapped up perfectly. We are here for suggestions and those hard conversations. So continue tuning in. Disagree with us, agree with us, whatever. We're going to stay and do our thing. So thank you guys for tuning in again this week. I look forward to whatever we're going to be able to talk about next week. And we will see you guys on the flip side.
See you, everybody. Whoop.
Peace out.